This time, it's scooter versus motorcycle. Before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content.
So the question is, scooter v motorbike, which is best? We've got two very similar machines today, similar power, similar weight, similar overall performance. So we're going to take them out and see which is best. I think I've got a few preconceived ideas, haven't you?
Few, yeah.
Let's see what happens. Well, first of all, now we've been out for a ride. That was close, wasn't it?
It was closer than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
To be honest,
I thought it'd be really predictable. The scooter was obviously going to accelerate a lot quicker, which it did, but only a bit,
Only a little bit, yeah.
and only like initial pickle. And we thought the bike would be a lot quicker, which it was, but a bit.
But a bit, yeah. One thing, it's a lot easier on the scooter.
Yeah,
I have to work a lot harder than you had to.
Yeah, it was hilarious. You're like,
I come past you, one arm off it, just
it's just chilling.
casually riding.
I was like, look at that muppet, look how hard he's working. I was thinking, yeah, it was an absolute bloody doddle.
You have to red line it through each gear and you're just casually
The
strolling
only time the scooter really picks up, you know, when you get to like sort of around 70 mark, it kind of runs out of gear and then it's just on the engine revs. And then it really starts revving then to about 11. But you can actually feel a bit of a kick in power as well. But I could still see you coming. Look in the mirror, you can see this.
Yeah, it's faster past 65, I'd say.
The Dalen?
The Dalen,
definitely, yeah.
But under that, the scooter just pulls away. Because there's the Dalen, not sure if it's the same with all 125s, but seems to be like a power gap between 4th and 5th.
Yeah. It'd be slightly better with 6 gears, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But you'd still be... You're still sort of running up peaks and troughs, aren't you?
Yeah, it's like each
With a
time
geared bike.
from like 45, when you change from third to fourth, there's always like a second delay before the power kicks in.
And the scooter's going...
And the scooter's just always pulling.
It's just going in. First of all, I mean, which one would you sooner take on the motorway?
Probably the Daylem, because it's got a higher top speed. If I can hold... probably the scooter, actually, because it'll just comfortably hold 70, because it can still hold 70.
Just about. Personally, I'd say the Daylem.
Yeah, I guess if it's
I thought it pulled a bit better.
It would pull a bit better.
Because you're in that kind of power band of the bike, aren't you? And I think it pulled pretty well then. If it was on like a B road where you're cruising at 55, 60, or like in traffic, where you got to accelerate and decelerate, scooter every day.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because it was like... The weird thing as well is the handling. I mean, I struggle a bit because you've got to get used to the cornering, because it's quite different on the scooter. It's got those smaller wheels.
Feels more, I guess, floaty.
Yeah,
wheels.
yeah, and the suspension's quite soft as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then it handles alright. I mean, when Deb took it out, she kind of hammered the nuts off it the other day, and she was really flying through the corner. She was. She obviously can't feel the fact that the tyres are in. She just goes through it.
No. Because that's one thing with Daylem. You have to go into a corner a lot faster than you would on, say, a bigger bike, because it just won't pull out the other side.
No, it doesn't, does it?
And on tight corners, you got to go down to even like third for it to have any. Because in fourth it'll just die if you go down to 30.
Yeah.
Don't pull at all.
Comfort-wise, I think they're both good actually. But the Daylem seat's really good. I think it's really
the
comfy.
scooter's better at passengers.
Definitely.
Um,
Definitely. I mean, the Daylem's
and
not
the Daylem,
bad.
you're going to be up in the clouds a little bit.
Yeah, you get a good view, but I think the torque of the engine would be an absolute pain in the arse.
But I think scooters just handle better with passengers.
Yeah.
You don't really feel them.
I think they've been built with passengers in mind more. That's definitely true. Definitely. Practicality, which is the most practical.
The scooter. Generally.
Definitely, yeah. Because you've got all that storage, haven't you?
Yeah.
And it's just so lazy.
Better for shopping.
Oh yeah.
Better for
Definitely better for shopping.
One nice thing about this scooter, at least my knees like fit between it, because now from the last scooter when it's pissing it down, I had like dry legs and just soaked knees.
Yeah.
For my knees just being on both.
But that's the other thing, isn't it? Weather protection.
I think sports tours are really good, oddly good for keeping you warm.
Yeah, I mean, it's all the bodywork, isn't it? Whether they built it with the intention of keeping you warm or not, I don't know. But
that's just something.
does.
It's just like naturally it blows their moisture. It's not like on the daily you get less wet than you would on.
I've noticed that. A naked bike,
more.
If I was on, say, the V7,
even like an adventure bike, you probably get less wet and cold.
Yeah, I think possibly the bottom half of you definitely. I think adventure bikes give really good protection at the top, like it's all that big body. Think of the Honda.
Yeah.
You get the big screen and everything, but then the bottom half, there's no protection at all. Whereas you've got at least a bit of bodywork around your legs. Whereas on the scooter, you've got a shed load of bodywork around your legs. You're dead warm and snug. I mean, I used it the other day in terrible weather, and it was really good. So we're thinking about performance, acceleration. When we actually tested this, when we tested it from going up a hill from standstill, scooter marmalised the Daylem, didn't it? And this up till about 40.
Oh yes, on the hills, scooters are always a lot better.
Yeah, because it's always in the right gear.
The scooter's more relaxing.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more fun to just rev the shit out of the bike.
Yeah, involving.
You're just punishing. Yeah, it's more involving. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd say that.
Yeah, it makes you work for it, I suppose, which is.
It does, which is kind of more rewarding in a way.
Yeah.
I think refinement, I'd say, was a close call because the switches are pretty good on both. Comfort and like legroom and everything is generally pretty good on both. I think you don't get much. Do you get a bit of vibe from the Daylem when you're right at the top, maybe? Or
yeah, the main thing is like you don't really notice the vibration till you look at the mirrors.
Yeah, the scooter, you kind of don't feel any vibration. There's that weird kind of sensation that there's a rubber belt moving underneath your feet, which of course there is.
Yeah.
And you can actually feel, I think you can feel, I don't know about you, I think you can feel the belt going. So you've got a kind of rumbling, weird sensation.
You
kind
get
of a
a lot of
little
scooters,
misty thing.
like the vibe's different. Don't they?
So then, if you could only have one bike, which one would it be?
Probably the Daylon.
Thought you'd say that.
Yeah.
So even though the scooter was easier to ride and more practical, you're going Daylon.
Because like I said, it's just more rewarding. It's just more fun.
It does look cool though.
Yeah. And it does look a lot cooler.
It does look a lot. But that counts for a lot though, doesn't it? You know, cool looks are properly important.
Yeah.
You know, they don't matter what people say. You know, I can be as practical as I like. And I
Well,
do like
that's why,
to think I'm a pragmatist about bikes, but I still buy a bike because it looks good. So then, which was best?
I think the scooter's best.
Well, you would have.
But yeah, but I would. The scooter's better. Like you can't really argue too much because although it doesn't go quite as quick,
No.
you're still like it is rare when you're taking your 125 to over 70. Because
Yeah.
like, do you want to take it on motorways? No. And on a country road, so you're going to get up to 70? Not really, because by
No.
the time you get up to 70, there's you've gone through a corner.
Yeah, because it takes forever.
Yeah,
doesn't
it takes.
Having said that, you've been on the motorway on the Daylon and it performed really well actually. It was
Just-
dead good, wasn't it? Actually. I did worry about the thing, kind of
Season.
slowing up.
Yeah.
But it didn't, did it? I mean,
It's always a risk when
chucked
you're
away
going
really
at
well.
like 75 and it's
Yeah.
like out of the red line, just chilling.
I mean, that's the other thing as well actually. You know, build quality both's good. I mean, the Piaggio is notionally Italian, but I imagine a lot of it's built in China these days. Quite a lot of it. Not wherever it's built, the build quality is pretty good. Switches are good quality. It feels solid. And likewise, the Daylon really. I mean, a lot of people look at Daylon and they think, oh, it's a Chinese bike or something, because it's not. It's Korean, and it shows that Southeast Asia, Korea, Thailand, Malaysia, are
That's
making some
catching
very
up.
good bikes.
They're slowly catching up.
Well, I mean, it's not just solely. I mean, a lot of the components that are in the Daylon were actually built for Honda. It's under license there. They actually develop their own bikes. And it does show build quality pretty good, I think. And it's a very straightforward bike. I think the only criticism would be it should have 6 gears, because that would have given you better acceleration today.
Well, I always think, because there's a 250 version of the Daylon,
Yeah,
I always think like they just kept the same gearbox.
yeah.
Because I always find like
That could do with 16,
between
can't it?
certain gears, it just like lacks the pull.
Yeah.
Like it's like almost like it was meant for a bigger engine, which it probably was.
Yeah, but I suppose as well, 5 speeds on any small bike isn't quite enough. The old 2-stroke 125 just had run 7-speed gearboxes, Kajivas and the like. I'm sure Aprilias did as well.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the only criticism of the bike I'd have. That and its weight, 'cause it's pretty heavy.
It's
For one,
pretty-
I mean, it feels light. I mean, it's quite nippy and nimble, but compared to some of the bikes, that's a bit heavy. Really.
But yeah, it's better for me because I think someone on like the Hondas or the Yamahas, I'd end up being cramped. I wouldn't be able to
Definitely,
tour
yeah.
them anywhere near as
No,
well as I
No.
could on the Daylon.
no. I think particularly, I mean, it's copes really well considering we put luggage on it, and you've travelled quite a distance on it. It's coped brilliantly actually. I think it's a very good bike, and I think they both are. I think that's conclusion. They're both really good, and I think it's really going to be down to personal choice, really.
Yeah, because I always think the perfect beginner bike is a scooter.
Yeah.
Because if you can ride a push bike, you can ride a scooter.
Yeah,
Because
I agree. Yeah,
they're just so easy to ride.
yeah.
Yeah,
Brilliant,
this is
aren't
a
they?
thing I'd recommend to anyone who's starting riding, to be fair. Because for me,
Yeah.
I was always didn't want to ride a scooter because I was like, oh, scooter doesn't look nice, look
Yeah.
like a twat on it. But then they're just they're just so easy.
Yeah, I mean, you think, you start with that Peugeot. I don't think there could have been a better bike for you to start on, really.
No,
Particularly given the performance you got out of it,
yeah, because like for me, for like people I know who want to start riding bikes, I always tell them to like get a scooter first.
Yeah, because you were able to learn the basics, weren't you?
Yeah. It's just you don't have to think about really anything on a scooter.
Yeah. I think if you're going for a bike where you want, where you're looking at sort of a rewarding ride, then a geared bike is probably the way to go. Because you've got the excitement to go up and down the gears, I think.
Yeah.
I think if you're just looking as a form of transport, or you just want for something to tour on, if the journey is more important than the vehicle, which it could be for a lot of people, then the scooter is a really good choice, isn't
I think city travel, if you live in a city, a scooter's a better choice.
Yeah.
Because you're not holding on the clutch
No. Very true,
over and
yeah.
over, trying
Yeah.
to slip between cars.
Yeah. I think what held it back on the top speed, because performance, the power to weight ratio is pretty much identical. It's going to come down to the fact that it's got a barn door for fairing, and it must generate a phenomenal amount of drag when it gets to about 70.
Yeah, you can
scooter,
definitely feel on a headwind, yeah.
yeah. Whereas a Dalem, you could sort of go, if you tucked in like that, I think you'd have, which you didn't do really, you kind of sat up, didn't you?
I did sit up, yeah.
I think if you'd lain on the tank, you'd have gone absolutely tanking by with 5, 6, 7, 8 miles an hour to spare easy.
Well, this is another thing that shows it was the gearbox was made for a 250. This top gear is basically useless.
Is it like an overdrive?
Yeah, it's. I only use it if I'm going above 60.
Yeah.
Because if you go anywhere below 60, it will not accelerate at all. I'm in fourth most of the way around.
Are you?
Not in fifth, yeah. Because down country lanes, if I drop, to 55, it won't pull out of a corner at all.
No.
Although, like, it does hurt the engine more. You can hear the engine struggling. It doesn't like it much, but it's that, or you just have to anchor up behind me when we come out of a corner.
Yeah. I did feel like coming off roundabout stuff, I could have just pulled and gone round you a couple of times. Certainly, you would make ground up. You were like, and I was just on half throttle. I thought I'll just sit here, let him work his way out of it, sweating away, But yeah, I think conclusion would be actually both really good. And I think it would depend whatever your preferences are really. I think that the scooter would make a really good tourer or commuter. Generally a very comfortable bike, wasn't the scooter?
Yeah.
And I think the Dalem is it's got a really comfortable ride position. It's not like although it looks like a sports bike.
It's not.
The riding position isn't.
The riding position's very similar to the V7.
Yeah. Yeah,
because when I've
foot
sat
position
in,
and the bar position in particular.
Yeah, because when I've sat on that,
it
it feels almost identical, really.
Yeah. Well, let's wrap it up really. I think the conclusion would be both good. Matter of personal taste really. I mean, to pick a favourite purely on looks as much as anything else, I think.
And I guess where you are in riding really. If you're 18 and you do want to go straight to get a bike, I think it's the scooter would be a better option to start off with.
Yeah.
Bit more power.
Conclusion then, it's down to personal taste. Both bikes were actually really good, and I thought they were really close. I was surprised how closely matched they were actually, considering how different they are. Although you got to work a lot harder. Yeah. I think in terms of handling, the Dalem's got the edge, but not by much. Top speed, the Dalem's got the edge by a bit. Acceleration, the scooter's got the edge by a bit. Practicality, again, goes down to the scoot. But then, actually, the Dalem's got much bigger fuel tanks. You can cruise bigger distances between stops on it.
That's true.
It's more stable because those bigger wheels, and we've got cases of course in it, so there is some carrying capacity. And they're both okay to carry passengers. I wouldn't carry passengers on the Dalem personally, but I think it was okay. It's got the room, if not the engine.
I just feel bad.
Yeah.
It's like punishing it, putting another person on that thing.
It's not, really not designed.
Struggles with one person in it, let alone two.
Yeah. So very similar.
Nice.
I think you pays your money, takes your choice really.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think if you like that video, don't forget to like and subscribe for content. And we'll see you next time. While we sit here and have our drinks in the garden. Let's chillax.
Yeah, let's chill.
Ain't nothing else to do.
Not just shit anyway.
No. Bye bye.
Bye.